Ever feel like you're kind of stuck?
Yeah.
Like on autopilot? Like you're not really the one in control of your own life? Well,
Okay.
today we're going to deep dive into a story that might just shake things up a bit.
Okay.
We're looking at a video by this guy, Iman Gadzhi.
Oh, yeah. I've seen him around.
Yeah, he's a young entrepreneur, built this huge online following by sharing, well, some pretty unconventional wisdom,
Yeah, yeah.
on how to build a life you actually want.
Not just like the usual stuff.
Right, exactly.
What I find interesting about Gadzhi is that he doesn't just focus on,
Yeah.
the get-rich-quick schemes or any of that.
Mm-hmm.
He's really all about what he calls personal sovereignty.
Personal sovereignty. Okay. So, what exactly does that even mean?
Well, think of it like this.
Okay.
You're the captain of your own ship, right?
Okay.
And you get to make these conscious choices about where you want to go in life
Mm-hmm.
instead of just kind of drifting along with the current.
I like that.
Yeah.
Taking the helm, charting your own course.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And Gadzhi's story is a powerful example of how to do just that.
Okay.
He starts by talking about this experience he had when he was just 16, actually.
Okay.
He was head over heels for his girlfriend,
Ah, young love.
but she had to move back to the U.S.
A long distance, that's rough.
And for him, it was more than just tough. It was
Yeah.
a real wake-up call.
Okay.
He realized that even if he had the money to visit her, he was still stuck,
Yeah.
bound by school, by his circumstances. He felt powerless.
Yeah. Have you ever felt that way?
Totally.
Like no matter what, you're just stuck.
It's like regardless of money, you're just trapped.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Gadzhi was dealing with.
Okay.
And it wasn't just about missing his girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
It was about something deeper.
Okay.
This realization that he lacked control over his own life.
So this heartbreak was kind of a turning point for him.
Absolutely. It was a huge turning point for him.
Okay.
He decides he's going to figure out how to gain control. Right? Not just for himself either. He started thinking about the future, his future kids even.
Oh.
He's like, what kind of legacy am I building if I'm not even in control of my own life?
That's pretty heavy stuff for a 16-year-old.
Yeah. Right.
So how does he go from like heartbroken teenager to, this entrepreneurial powerhouse?
Well, he uses this really interesting analogy.
Okay.
He compares the feeling of powerlessness to being on the Titanic.
Okay. I see where this is going.
You're on this, seemingly unsinkable ship.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's great. The band's playing. Then, bam,
Yeah.
you hit an iceberg.
And you're out of control.
And suddenly, your fate is out of your hands.
That's a powerful image.
Yeah, and he really focuses on that image of the band playing as the ship's going down.
Oh, yeah. I remember that part.
It's like that moment, right? When you suddenly realize
Yeah.
you're not actually in control. You're living with this false sense of security.
Like in the movie when everyone suddenly realizes, oh, crap, we're sinking.
Yeah, exactly.
But instead of a literal ship, it's our lives.
Right. It's our dreams, our hopes that might be going under.
And the band playing, well, that's different for everyone, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Could be that feeling of dread when you wake up on Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Or the realization that you're just going through the motions.
Yeah, like you're not really living a life that feels like yours.
So it's about recognizing those signs, those subtle signs that,
Yeah.
we're not on a path we've consciously chosen.
Exactly. But Gadzhi takes it a step further.
Okay.
He shares this really personal story about his mom.
Oh, wow.
Watching her work these exhausting jobs,
Mm-hmm.
coming home drained, every single day. It was like their own ship was sinking.
Right.
But the music of daily life, it just kept playing.
I think I'm starting to understand where this idea of personal sovereignty fits in.
Yeah, it's the antidote to that feeling of sinking.
Yeah.
It's about saying, wait a minute, I don't have to accept this as my reality.
Mm.
I have the power to change course.
So it's not just about, recognizing the problem.
No, not at all.
It's about taking action.
That's where Gadzhi's message gets really interesting, I think.
Okay.
He doesn't just leave us with doom and gloom,
Right.
He actually offers a path forward.
Oh, okay. I like that.
And that's where this whole concept of irresponsible success comes in.
Okay. Now we're getting to the good stuff.
Right.
Irresponsible success. What is that? And what does it have to do with, not sinking?
Well, it's about challenging that conventional definition of success, right?
Okay.
Gadzhi, he actually left his thriving agency
Really?
at 17.
Wow. 17.
Yeah, to pursue his own vision.
That's crazy.
It was a move that a lot of people considered,
Yeah.
irresponsible.
Right.
But for him, it was about something else.
Well,
It was about prioritizing his own definition of success.
So he's saying, Like sometimes playing it safe,
Yeah.
following the responsible path,
Mm-hmm.
can actually be the most irresponsible thing you can do.
Exactly. It's like asking yourself, am I being true to myself, to my own aspirations?
Yeah.
Or am I just going through the motions,
Right.
living someone else's version of success?
I think a lot of people can relate to that feeling of like
Yeah.
playing it safe, staying in your comfort zone,
Hmm.
even when you know deep down there's something more out there.
Absolutely.
But how do we actually break free from those expectations?
Right.
How do we start making those irresponsible choices
Yeah.
that lead to a life that feels like truly ours?
Gadzhi offers some pretty practical advice here.
Okay, good.
Talks about identifying the orchestra that's playing in our lives.
The orchestra.
Yeah, it's that constant background noise,
Mm-hmm.
that can drown out our own desires, our aspirations.
Okay, I think I'm following.
It's like being at a crowded bar.
Right.
You're trying to have a conversation,
Yeah.
but the music's blaring. You can barely hear yourself think.
Right.
And just like in that bar, we often just become so used to the noise that we don't even realize how much it's affecting us.
Yeah, it just becomes normal.
Exactly, becomes our normal.
Well, what if we could, like,
Yeah.
step outside for a second,
Right.
take a deep breath?
And experience the quiet?
Yeah.
That's the kind of shift in perspective Gadzhi's encouraging.
I like that. So the first step is awareness.
Yeah.
So what are some of the signs that we're letting that orchestra drown us out, that we're, maybe on autopilot instead of really steering our own ship?
He outlines a few key indicators, like
Okay.
constantly seeking permission for everything, feeling busy but not actually making any real progress,
Yeah.
being totally unable to be spontaneous, things like that.
It's like we're not really in control of our own choices, right?
Exactly. We've given up that control.
But the good news is,
Yeah.
once we become aware of those patterns, we can start to break free.
That's where the real excitement begins.
Okay, so we've identified the orchestra.
Yeah.
We're recognizing those signs that we might be, a little off course. Now, how do we actually change direction?
Right.
How do we start making choices that, align with our values,
Yeah.
with our true selves?
It's about having the courage to, turn down the volume,
Okay.
step outside of those comfort zones,
Yeah.
and just start experimenting with new ways of being. And Gadzhi really emphasizes this. It's a journey, not a destination.
Right.
There will be setbacks. There'll be moments of doubt.
Of course.
But the key is to just keep moving forward.
So it's about taking small steps, right?
Yeah,
Consistently, and being patient with ourselves along the way.
absolutely. And
Wow.
remember, there's no one-size-fits-all approach here.
Okay.
What works for one person might not work for another.
Mhm.
It's about finding what resonates with you.
Yeah.
What feels authentic and empowering.
It sounds like a lot of this comes down to self-awareness,
Yeah.
really understanding what it is that we truly want.
That's a huge part of it, yeah.
Okay.
Gadzhi talks about the importance of introspection, like carving out time for reflection.
Yeah.
And asking yourself those tough questions.
Right. Like, what am I passionate about?
Actually, what brings me joy?
What kind of legacy do I want to leave?
That's a big one.
Yeah. Those are questions that can feel a little daunting sometimes,
I know, right?
especially if you've been in that, autopilot mode for a while.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's also something really exciting about, like,
Yeah.
the possibility of uncovering those answers,
Yep.
of rediscovering who we are, what we're capable of.
It's like going on a treasure hunt within yourself.
I love that analogy.
And sometimes the most valuable treasures
Yeah.
are found in the most unexpected places.
That's true.
Gadzhi's story is a testament to that. He found his treasure in heartbreak,
Wow.
in that realization that he was on a path that wasn't truly his own.
And from that, he built a life that's not only successful, but also, like, deeply fulfilling and aligned with his values.
Exactly.
It's pretty inspiring, right?
Absolutely.
Shows that we all have that potential
Yeah.
to create a life that feels authentic,
Yeah.
even if it means breaking free from what's considered responsible or safe.
And that's the beauty of personal sovereignty.
Yeah.
It's not about following a set of rules
Yeah.
or achieving some external measure of success.
It's about defining what success means to you
Exactly.
and having the courage to create a life that reflects that definition.
That's it.
So it's not about irresponsible versus responsible. It's about being responsible to ourselves,
Yeah.
to our own dreams, our own aspirations.
That's the key.
Makes you think, What are those responsible choices we're making?
Yeah, the ones that are actually holding us back.
What are we putting off,
Right, because we're afraid of what people will think.
Or because we doubt ourselves?
Gadzhi, he even talks about that feeling, that dread that can creep in
Oh, yeah.
when we think about the future,
Yeah.
that realization that another day's gone by and we're no closer to where we want to be.
That feeling is the worst. It's like, what am I even doing with my life?
But Gadzhi, he says, don't let that feeling paralyze you.
Oh, okay.
It's actually a call to action.
Oh, interesting.
It's a sign that you're ready for something more.
Like you're yearning for a change.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like your inner compass trying to point you in the right direction.
Even if it feels a little uncomfortable.
It's that nudge, right?
Yeah, that nudge from the universe.
Saying, hey, wake up.
There's more to life than this.
Okay, so what's the first step? What can someone do today?
Right, to start moving towards this personal sovereignty thing.
To take control.
Gadzhi says it's not about some big overnight transformation.
Okay.
It's small, consistent actions.
Right.
Setting intentions, being clear about what you want. Yeah.
And taking little steps each day.
Like that saying, a journey of 1,000 miles.
Begins with a single step.
Exactly.
And remember,
Yeah.
personal sovereignty, it's not a solo mission.
Right.
Surround yourself with people who support you.
Find your tribe.
The people who get you, who cheer you on.
Yeah, even when you stumble.
You need that.
Because, let's face it,
Yeah.
this journey, it can be challenging.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There will be doubts, setbacks,
Moments when you want to give up.
but having that support system.
It can make all the difference.
So, to wrap up our deep dive into Gadzhi's message,
Yeah.
what resonates with me the most is this.
Okay.
Taking control of your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about having all the answers.
Right.
It's about having the courage to ask the right questions.
Being honest with yourself.
Where you are, where you want to be.
What you're willing to do to get there.
It's about silencing that orchestra,
Yeah.
tuning in to your own inner compass.
Chart a course that feels right for you. Embrace the unknown. Be bold.
And trust yourself.
Yeah, we're all rooting for you.
Until next time,
Keep diving deep.
and keep seeking that personal sovereignty.
It's waiting to be unleashed within you.